How to be happy in every situation. An old woman's story. In a small village surrounded by rolling hills and vibrant green fields, there lived an old woman named Mira. She was known far and wide for her ever-present smile and calm demeanor, no matter the challenges life threw her way. People often wondered how Mira managed to stay so joyful, even in the face of hardships. Her story became a source of inspiration, passed down through generations. The secret behind the smile. One day, a young traveler named Aaron arrived in the village. Exhausted from his journey and burdened by his own struggles, he heard about Mira and her remarkable attitude. Curious and desperate for answers, he decided to visit her. Mira greeted him warmly at the door of her modest cottage. The house was simple, adorned with colorful flowers and wind chimes that tinkled softly in the breeze. "Tell me, Mother Mira," Aaron began, "how are you so happy in every situation? I've traveled far and wide, but I've never met anyone like you." Mira chuckled, her eyes crinkling with warmth. "Ah, my child, it's not that I don't face troubles, it's how I choose to see them." The 3 jars. Mira led Aaron to her backyard, where 3 old jars sat under the shade of a tree. Each jar was labeled Gratitude, Lessons, and Let Go. "These jars hold the key to my happiness," Mira explained. 1. The jar of gratitude. She opened the first jar, which was filled with small pebbles. Each pebble represents something I'm grateful for. Every morning, I pick one pebble and remind myself of the blessings in my life. It keeps my heart light and full. 2. The jar of lessons. The second jar contained tiny scrolls of paper. These hold the lessons I've learned from difficult times. Instead of seeing hardships as punishments, I view them as teachers. Every experience, good or bad, helps us grow. 3. The jar of let go. The final jar was empty. Mira smiled. "This jar reminds me to let go of what I cannot control. Worrying only wastes energy. When I face a problem, I ask myself, can I change this? If not, I place it in this jar and free myself from the burden." The storm test. Aaron listened intently, but he was still skeptical. "But what about moments of great sorrow or loss? How can you be happy then?" Mira's face softened. "Let me tell you a story," she said. Years ago, Mira had lost her husband and son in a terrible storm. It was the darkest time of her life, and she thought she would never smile again. One night, as she sat alone, she noticed a tiny flower blooming through the cracks of a broken wall in her home. "It was then I realized," Mira said, "even in the worst storms, life finds a way to bloom again. I started to look for small joys amidst my pain. A bird's song, the kindness of a neighbor, the warmth of the sun. Happiness doesn't mean ignoring pain. It means finding light, even in darkness." The traveler's awakening. Aaron stayed with Mira for a few days, observing her way of life. He saw how she celebrated small victories, shared laughter with her neighbors, and approached challenges with grace. When it was time to leave, Aaron felt a newfound sense of peace. He carried with him the lessons of the 3 jars and Mira's wisdom about finding happiness, even in tough times. As he walked away from the village, he turned back to see Mira waving at him, her smile as radiant as ever. He realized then that happiness isn't about the absence of problems, it's about how we choose to face them. Moral of the story. True happiness comes from gratitude, learning from life's challenges, and letting go of what we cannot control. Like Mira, we can all find joy by focusing on the blessings in our lives and embracing the beauty hidden in every situation. Convert into scenes.